This is a statement by the Law Society of Kenya in response to the directive given by the head of public service to the Council of the University of Kenyatta University, requesting them, or in politely speaking, ordering them to reallocate land that is currently owned by the university to various other agencies, including allocating land to squatters. We are deeply concerned by such egregious directives coming 3 weeks to the general election and at the very tail end of the leadership of His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. The country has a long history where public land has been excised for supposedly public purposes, but eventually that land has ended up in the hands of private individuals and failing to satisfy the public good. We are particularly worried and concerned that in this very instance, a huge tract of land is said to be allocated or to be preserved for purposes of giving it to squatters who have been living therein. This bears the footprints of previous attempts at excising public land, which then the land ends up in private hands. So we commend the Council for Kenyatta University for standing their ground against such illegal directives, and we wish to confirm to the country that the Law Society has already instructed an advocate to file a case at the Land and Environment Court to stay those illegal directives. The reason why, in promulgating the 2010 Constitution, we came up with institutions such as the National Land Commission was to prevent wastage of public land through executive fiat. It is indeed disheartening to witness this situation that 10 years down the line, after the promulgation of the new constitution, we still do not have the necessary constitutional restraint and hygiene to ensure that we follow and comply with the law. So we therefore call upon the executive that when you are on the last days of your tenure, you cannot make such critical decisions that are going to affect the country so many years into the future on your last days. The duty right now of the current president is to ensure that there is a smooth transition, to ensure that the IEBC is properly facilitated, that all the arms of government that are supposed to work in tandem to facilitate a free and fair election are given the necessary resources to undertake their work. But to come up at the end of a tenure with such grand schemes cannot and should not be something that this country should accept, and we should read mischief into such allocations, noting the value of land around KU and the acres involved in this illegal directive. So we extremely appalled by this behavior, and we are going as a society to ensure that on the last days of this administration, that the Uhuru-led government follows the law. The legacy that the Uhuru government lives in this country is one of wanton disregard of law and procedure. And that is a legacy that we will not allow to disrupt the lives of the future, because the university is holding that land in trust of the Kenyan people and in trust of the young people who we expect to benefit from these resources. We all know that this country has experienced a huge youth bulge, and so therefore universities ought to be allowed to flourish, ought to hold extra land, because they are institutions that will keep on growing and growing to accommodate the increasing population of youth. And so therefore it will be tragic if we were to allow this great misadventure to happen, especially at the time when the government is about to exit power. Thank you so much.
When you said that you have instructed an advocate to move to the court in regard to this matter, what exactly is he seeking in the petition or the application that has been filed?
The petition first seeks a declaration that the procedure that has been adopted by the president is an illegal procedure. It is not known in law, and that there are very clear procedures set out in our laws on how to allocate public land. And secondly, to also seek to stop the implementation of that procedure, so that then the university council can rest in peace. We have seen, and no less than the president of this country, issuing threats to a mayor, vice chancellor of the university. And we have to remember that similar threats were issued upon the judiciary, upon the nullification of the election. And we all know that year after year, the judiciary has suffered from from reduced allocation in the budget, while the budgetary allocation to the other arms of government have increased. So there is no doubt in our minds that the threats that the president has issued are threats that are going to be actualized, and so therefore we will be seeking that the court stays the implementation of that decision, so that then the council can relieve the pressure and intimidation that is being visited on the council of the university. We are banning the midnight oil, and we hopefully should be able to file the petition before close of day today, or at the very earliest tomorrow morning.